Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Please remember to subscribe and to leave comments. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about. If you don't know me, my name is Christine Cocciola. I have a doctorate in clinical social work from NYU, where I study coercive control and the experiences of adult and child victims under the tutelage of Dr. Evan Stark, who really propelled the term. But what do we know about coercive control, and why do we call it coercive control? Dr. Stark saw it as a gendered crime. He saw that it actually impacts women at a greater rate. And we know this because of the way that society is set up. The political and social constructs of society are set along the foundation of patriarchy. And it's really problematic when victims, typically women, of rape, of domestic abuse, of any kind of abuse, sex trafficking, whatever you want to call it, whenever someone is considered disadvantaged in society, they are easily oppressed. And certainly coercive control is oppression. But it's beyond that, or can be all of this if we kind of contextualize it when we look at all of the ways that the abusers inflict their coercive control. I like to call abusers coercive controllers. Sometimes I call them narcissistic abusers because it's a term that we're all so familiar with. That's not that I'm diagnosing them, but that I actually can see that their character traits align very well with people who are disordered, people who will do anything to retain control, people who will even in some cases want another person to suffer, which is just hugely problematic, as I know you would all agree. So what would I say? Again, I like to define it. Coercive control is certainly abusers use psychological strategies to exert power and control over another. Gaslighting, intimidation, isolation, manipulation, right? And so it doesn't have to be extreme. This is such an important conversation. Coercive control is not like someone being locked in a room. It could be, but it doesn't have to be extreme. It can be slow, insidious. It is a grooming process. It can be boom, I'm controlling you. Of course it can be, but certainly it can be slow and insidious. And when it is the most confusing, it is the most confusing because victims and survivors truly don't want to believe that someone they love or care about could mistreat them in this way. So, what do victims and survivors always do? I call them perfect prey. If you haven't listened to my podcast, I hope you do. It's called Perfect Prey because I believe victims are perfect prey, not because any of this is their fault. Let's be extremely clear about that. It's not because it's their fault. It's because a perpetrator will choose someone who tends to be more giving, accommodating, loyal to a fault, forgiving, highly forgiving, optimistic. Man, that glass is always half full. Keep on looking for the good in people, keep on hoping. And honestly, this plays out in family court over and over again because what happens? We believe the system is supposed to work, right? We believe the criminal justice, even like family court criminal justice, we believe that justice should be served. And so over and over again, we keep trying, we keep believing, we keep being hopeful when the system is often complicit in exerting coercive control over victims. So it can be psychological abuse. It can be, of course, financial abuse that starts before the relation, like before the relationship, before the marriage, I should say, right? But it goes on after. If I want to exert power and control over you, I'm going to take everything that matters to you, your financial stability, your home, your car, your employment. I'm going to ruin everything for you. And of course, I might also do this via the legal system, legal abuse, right? It's called vexatious litigation. And then add in there that there can be sexual abuse. And there also, of course, very often where there are children, is the weaponization of children. That's coercive control. It's the foundation, the underpinning of all abuse. And it's about one person exerting power and control over another. It is a grooming process. It is a pattern of behavior. It is not a one-off incident. If someone is harmed physically by another person, we have to ask ourselves, okay, what was going on before to create that person's need to exert power and control in such a way that they will use physicality to do it? And Maggie has joined us. Anyway, I hope that's helpful and I hope to see you soon. Bye.